didn't cover for him. In fact, he went to Colin's dental office and confronted him head on. Now, Colin's reaction was one of anger and shock. He basically told this guy, who, remember, is his good friend and pastor, he said, "Leslie's way out of line. I'm absolutely not having an affair with Hazel or anybody else for that matter. You guys are way out of line here. Like, you need to check yourself. This is crazy." Which the pastor is kind of like, okay, whatever you say. But he, like Leslie, wasn't stupid. So he did the next smartest thing that he could think of. And he went to Hazel asking her the same thing. Because remember, the Howells and the Buchanans are all members of this church. And Hazel was not as strong as Colin was in the face of her pastor. As soon as he was in front of her, as soon as he was confronting her and accusing her of having this affair, she just completely folded. Or at least halfway folded. And she said that she was in fact having an affair, but it was just an emotional one, not a physical one. Which, that was extremely, very far from the truth. The affair was full of all sorts of different sexual escapades. Wherever Colin and Hazel could manage to be together, they were. And it had been going on for months at this point. And as for that weekend that Colin claimed to be going on a golf trip, well, he had actually been with Hazel that weekend. But it was far, far, far from a romantic getaway. It turns out that Colin and Hazel had gotten themselves into a little bit of a situation. Hazel found out that she was pregnant. And to be honest, she had no idea if the baby was Trevor, her husband's, or Colin's. So after learning about the pregnancy, Hazel was pretty stuck on what to do. She never wanted her husband to find out about this affair, so potentially being pregnant with another man's baby was definitely going to be a huge wrench in that plan. Now, Colin wasn't as stuck on what to do. He wanted her to terminate the pregnancy, and he wanted her to do it fast. If the baby was his, he wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. And he somehow convinced Hazel that if she kept it, it would not only ruin her marriage, but his as well. However, terminating a pregnancy in Ireland back in the late 80s, early 90s, and as a devout Baptist, that was very heavily frowned upon. Hazel had never had one before, and she didn't want to even do it in the first place. She didn't want one, period. However, Colin just kept pushing her to have it taken care of, being like, "It's not as big of a deal as you think it is. Just do it. Get rid of it. Take care of it." He also confided in her that in the year before he and Leslie ever got married, Leslie had terminated 3 pregnancies. Then, in the 7 months after their marriage, she terminated 2 more pregnancies. Now, whether or not that was true, or he was just trying to make her feel better, Hazel really didn't know. But the uncertainty of who the father was really started to push her to the edge. Because Colin and Trevor, they did not look alike at all. So if she moved forward with this pregnancy, and it was Colin's baby, but she pretended that it was Trevor's baby, it would have been pretty obvious. Number one, because Colin and Leslie's kids were all born with very light hair. Also, their kids had a hereditary condition that caused them to have webbed toes. So if she had this baby, and this baby came out with webbed toes, the affair would have been aired out as soon as this baby was delivered. It would have been obvious that it was Colin's.